Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all staying safe during these troubling and unprecedented times, which means we can't be together in Korea right now, which is a shame, but we will have to make do. It's very early in the morning here right now in Hong Kong. We are Team 13Q from the Hong Kong Baptist University. I'm joined here, my name is Jurgen. I'm joined here by my fellow group members, Jackie, Frank, and Anthony. Our presentation is called QQ, The Rise of GU. Now, GU is a fast-growing fast fashion company based in Japan who have recently expanded to other regions in Asia, such as China and Korea. This rapid and huge success is due to a few key factors, both internally and externally, which we'll cover under the GU brand and shifting trend section before defining highlighting a few key critical milestones under our defining moments section. I'm going to jump straight into the introduction here. A little bit about GU. GU opened their first store in Japan in 2006. They then introduced their sort of flagship big title item, the QQ 990 yen jeans in 2009. And by 2013, they opened their first overseas store in Shanghai. There are some key things to know about GU. First of all, they're owned by the conglomerate Fast Retailing Co., which also most notably own Uniqlo, which you have definitely heard of. This will come up later, so keep that in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is their brand ideology behind, which is about freedom and the freedom to wear what you want. And this ties everything in our presentation together, so I advise you guys to keep this in mind too. We will remind you, don't worry. But without further ado, I'm going to pass it on to my groupmate Anthony to talk about the internal factors that led to success.
So thank you, Jurgen. Our business can only count on the external business environment or just simply by luck. And the fundamental blocks to build up the success is some special qualities and features the brand possess. So here is 4 major internal factors. I would say that the 4 pillars that driving the success of GU internally. The first pillar, brand ideology and value. So you guys can think about it. Every successful brand in the world has a unique and a purposeful ideology other than just making profit or having more revenue, right? So GU has this as well, an impressive brand ideology and some well-established values. To first talk about GU brand philosophy, more freedom with fashion. This philosophy aligns with its ideology, which is to create a simple, affordable, yet fashionable style of outfits to show GU is different from others. On top of that, GU has possessed some really great values. First, GU is an engaging brand, which it has various interactive promotion made from different digital channels, like through the social media or its own apps. And all this really gets its target customers to love the brand. GU also shows its support to the community. For example, performing plenty of CSR works. One significant work performed, I want to point out, is that they adopt the sustainable sourcing while manufacturing their jeans. So the second pillar that I want to talk about is the powerful marketing strategies GU has been putting forward. There are totally 3 significant ones I want to share to all of you. First, predatory pricing. Though this strategy is seen to be negative for many of the businessmen, GU, however, uses this strategy to launch their hero item, QQ jeans. The affordable yet fashionable item has literally stunned the entire market at that time. The second strategy put forward is the collaboration GU has been long using. Every time when GU collabs with other brands like the manga characters, for example, like the Pokemons, and even some famous movie character like Batman, it could really make plenty of noise in the market. Last but not least, GU has performed a successful lateral integration strategy by merging 2 other shoes companies together and then successfully cut the production costs and enrich their production profiles. What is more importantly, to overcome the hardship in the early days of its business. So let's move on to the third pillar, which is the benefit from its counterpart Uniqlo, also coming from the Fast Retailing Co. Limited. Thanks to Uniqlo, GU enjoys the economics of scales, which it can lower the production cost of the business. And as a counterpart, GU could easily join hands with Uniqlo to hold different sales boosting events together, like the Thanksgiving Festival. One more critical point that I want to point out is that GU could learn from Uniqlo's business model and its experience, especially on the way how it develops the brand. So as you can see in this page, Uniqlo undoubtedly has shed light on GU unique positioning development. So last but not least, the well-maintained staff cook and the energy GU staff shown is huge to the success of GU. GU staff should first undergo a number of trainings, and these well-planned trainings set the tone for the team to have a good discipline and also to have good customer-facing skills, which creates an energetic and enthusiastic image to the staff. So let's move on to talk about the external factor. I will pass the time to Jackie. Jackie, please.
Okay, let's talk about the external factors that lead to the success of the GU. First, the market of the fast fashion was booming in the last 2 decades, and GU had reaped the benefits. This graph shows the trend of the market value of the fast fashion market is increasing, and it had increased more than $10 billion in the last decades. And so, GU produced the affordable, fast, smart casual to match the needs of the Asian consumers, and have also adapted to their style with the times. Besides, there are 2 financial crises in 2008 and 2014. Most people were suffering from debt, and they cannot afford too much in every market. Imagine that if you had bought the shares of the Tesla in the last 3 weeks, would you still have the interest to spend more money in the high-end fashion market? Probably no. However, GU is a different story, as they are much more affordable. For example, GU sells the casual and everyday wear in a pretty lower price range, and the collaboration in the higher price range. It satisfied the needs of the people at that time. Therefore, the market shares of GU had grew healthy despite the financial crisis. Second, thanks to the emergence of the e-commerce, online shopping became more approachable in these few years. Convenience is the key nowadays, so GU provides a platform for a consumer to browse through their products easily, and GU can show their affordable goods with a few simple clicks to attract their customer. It created the chance of the impulse buying of the customers. Lastly, the GU has the strong digital marketing strategy and engage with the customers through the multiple channels. For example, the membership system, the push notification, the online promotions, and the like. The user-friendly app interface and the regular promotion has also contributed to the repeat purchase from the customer. I will pass to my teammates Frank and Jurgen to talk about the critical milestones.
Thank you, Jackie. Now let's move on to the critical milestones. The first one is the overcoming hardship, defining moments in the history of GU, the critical milestones of GU success. The first milestone is overcoming hardship in the early stage. And the first one is overcoming hardship in early stage, which our teammate Anthony has put in great discussion into the lateral integration. With that comes restructuring and reforming of marketing strategies. GU gave up the strategy of pursuing up-to-trend fashion items to trade for more competitive prices for basic items, to build the cornerstones for future brand ideology of allowing more freedom with fashion in a more affordable sense. That also anchored the top of mind position in the consumer's minds. A little bit more background into the first early stage in the overcoming hardship in the early stage of the business. GU was suffering greatly in the sales department in 2006, right after they opened the store. The sales was as low as 1/3 what was planned. That's partly because of they highlighting the OEM products, original equipment manufacturing products. Despite being priced at 70% of Uniqlo's, they failed to meet the ambitious and almost impossible plan of opening 50 stores a year. That negatively impacted their sales performance and put the company in jeopardy. Then comes to the other milepoint, overseas expansion. With the funds generated with QQ and momentum generated with digital marketing. QQ is a hero item, which we'll go into more later. GU managed to open 29 stores in 2012 alone, and a year later propelled themselves into the global market, doubling, and did that in half the time of Uniqlo. And to put that more in perspective, GU managed to acquire 50 billion yen in sales in just 6 years, also did that in half the time of Uniqlo's. And more on QQ, let's go to Jurgen.
Thank you, Frank. So onto the hero item, the QQ, right? So that was the catchphrase and the name of the mega hit 990 yen jeans, which launched in 2009. For reference, 990 yen equates to about $10 US, which is a crazy affordable price, especially when you consider that Japan was in recession at the time when this was introduced. One of the main reasons behind the introduction of the jeans was it fell in line with their whole principle of the freedom to wear what you want, their brand ideology. So what is QQ exactly though? Their name?
3 minutes
QQ
left.
means 990 yen. And GU sounds like GU. So you can already see the correlations here and how this term alone can resonate and make you think of GU. And that all really nicely ties in with the whole brand ideology of your freedom, freedom to wear what you want, and how they are fast, affordable, and fashionable. Furthermore, as we said before, GU struggled with a bit of an identity crisis. So setting their prices this low really set them apart, not only from other fast fashion competitors, but their own sort of sister company, Uniqlo. It's a lot more than just a simple gimmick though. It's a very well thought out brand awareness campaign. And in a sense, it's more than just a gimmick, just like our dress code today, which you may have noticed are actually casual clothes from GU. It's more than just a gimmick too. It's for you to remember us, much like the jeans make you remember and think of GU. This also allowed them, as I mentioned, they're a huge brand awareness campaign, and it allowed them to generate massive headlines all across Japan, right? Japan Times, everywhere. And every marketer knows that organic word of mouth is both timeless and priceless. And so with that, we conclude our presentation here. What are some of our main takeaways? Well, success starts from the inside. Their brand values and ideologies are clearly reflected in their marketing strategies and staff policies and practices. And the infrastructure, they took great advantage of the infrastructure that they have from Uniqlo. External factors include capitalizing on fast fashion trends and technological advancements, such as building apps and websites that are easy to use. These successes are clearly reflected in their critical milestones, such as overcoming the early hardship, the introduction of the jeans, and of course, expanding overseas, which is most important. So our biggest takeaway is obviously that there's no one thing that made GU succeed. It's the combination of everything.
1 minute left.
Presentation. Thank you so much for listening today. We hope you enjoyed the presentation. And of course, we'd love to take any questions you may have. Thank you so much.